Hi there, welcome back to the blog of myself, Joseph Clough, for lots of free audio and also videos at my blog at josephclough.com/blog and all my hypnosis CDs at josephclough.com. So with that out of the way, I'd like to be able to talk to you about judgment and how we perceive things in our life. Because when you think about it, the issue that you may have in your life, no matter what it is, you made a certain judgment about it. You've made a judgment that it's true. You've made a judgment of how you see it in your life and how it happens in your life, whether it be anxiety, fears, depression, and so on. Now, we also know that the body has made a decision to have this issue for the best of intentions. I like to think that pretty much every behavior that you may be having right now always has a positive intention for you, and it's usually about trying to protect you. Now, when you think about that protection, is it really protecting us? Well, it's probably not, because it's a problem. So if it's a problem, it can't really be protecting us. But one other thing is a positive intention. And sometimes we've got to be able to look outside of ourselves and to be able to see a new perspective of what we think is true and not true. So you may be thinking of maybe an issue that you may have. Now, it's not necessarily for big issues, it's not going to just blow it out of the water, but it is about changing your consciousness. It's about changing how you view an issue or you view a problem in your life right now. So what I want you to do is think about that problem. And as you think about that problem, you're going to have an image in your mind, you're going to have a certain internal self-dialogue, probably a certain feeling, a certain association of how you know that it's an issue in your life. Now, Albert Einstein once says you can't solve a problem with the same level of thinking of which created the problem. Now, that's interesting, because that means we need to be able to raise our awareness, our knowledge, our wisdom, or see things from a new perspective to actually come up with the solution. So in order to solve a problem, we must get outside of the thought process which created that problem. Now, the chances are you may have an issue in life for a period of time. So yes, you probably gain knowledge and wisdom to know it's actually not logically helping us in any way. And we know that our body's trying to do it for the best of intentions. But as you know, that's not always enough to be able to let it go, just knowing that there's another way of doing things. We've got to really get your unconscious mind to see things from a new perspective. It's really about you considering new viewpoints, seeing through different eyes, from different thoughts, different feelings. So as you think about the issue right now, you're going to have a certain thought process. And as you think about that certain association and thought process to that issue, I want you to imagine stepping outside of that you for a moment. And as you step outside of that you, and see that you over there have that issue, what I'd like you to do is just consider going back to a you which was 10 years younger. And how do you see that issue looking through the eyes of you 10 years younger than you already are right now? What kind of thoughts do you have when you think of that issue having not had it yet, 10 years younger? What thoughts do you have toward it? What feelings? What learnings can you preserve? Because learnings really protect the body, and it lets go of behaviors which do not help us. Learnings preserve the mind and body. So really just think about looking through the eyes of you 10 years ago. How do you see that issue differently? What knowledge and wisdom may you have? Now you may be getting lots of learnings and knowledge and wisdom, or new insights. There may be just one, and that's okay. So just fully consider this issue through the eyes of you 10 years ago. And now what I'd like you to do is go way off into the future. And as you go off into the future, 10 years from now, so look through the eyes of you in 10 years' time, looking back at this time, looking back at that you with that issue, having overcome it. So as you look through the eyes of you in 10 years in the future, having overcame the issue, how do you see things differently? What thoughts do you have? What feelings do you have? If you were to ask that you 10 years in the future, what could you learn about this issue? What learnings, knowledge and wisdom could you preserve right now, 10 years in the future, having let go of that issue already? What wonderful thoughts and learnings would you send back to that you back then? What resources would you send that you? Feelings, new behaviors, new beliefs. Then as you fully consider the knowledge, learnings, wisdom of that you 10 years in the future, as you look back having let go of it, I'd like you to go ahead and consider looking through the eyes of someone who you absolutely admire. Maybe it's a partner, maybe it's a sibling, a family member. Maybe it's someone we've never met, who's in the media maybe, someone who we really admire. And as you choose that person, go inside their eyes, look through their eyes, and see the crystal clear clarity of their thoughts. And what knowledge and wisdom would they give that you now? What knowledge and wisdom would they give that you? What thoughts would they have? What feelings would they have to help you overcome that issue? Fully and completely become them for a moment. And see them pass on those knowledge, that wisdom, those learnings, those resources that they have to help that you with that issue. And see that you being filled up with their resources, learnings, knowledge and wisdom which can truly help you in every way. So as you fully consider that person, that role of the person you really admire, go ahead and choose someone else who's made such an accomplishment in the world. Maybe an entrepreneur, someone who's made a big change, someone who's overcome something, maybe an athlete, someone else who you admire, and look through their eyes. See how they would act and react if they had that issue. What learnings would they give you? What resources would they give you? What knowledge, wisdom and learnings in every way to help you see a new way of thinking, to gain new perspectives, new perceptions, and new abilities. Fully consider that right now. Now, as you consider that, I'd like you to go ahead and imagine, and it does not matter whatsoever if you're religious or spiritual or even an atheist, it does not matter whatsoever. Imagine looking through the eyes of someone like Jesus or Buddha. Just imagine picking one of those types of figures. Someone who has got a greater awareness maybe of enlightenment. Whether you believe in them or not, it doesn't matter. Because you know the type of mindsets they'd probably have. And look through their eyes. How would they see the problem? What learnings would they give you? What new perspectives would they give you? What resources can they give you now? Fully and completely give yourself that opportunity to see what you'd be seeing through their eyes, to take on knowledge and wisdom, to consider. You don't have to agree, but just consider that viewpoint. What resources and learnings would they give that you? Now go ahead and maybe look through, if you choose to, maybe a grandparent, whether they're here or past, it doesn't matter, or someone in relation which has that grandparent figure in your life. Look through their eyes. What knowledge and wisdom would they give you? What feelings would they give you? What resources would they give you? What new perspectives, learnings, knowledge and wisdom would they give you? And as you fully consider that, I'd like you to now imagine looking through the eyes of someone. Let me pick this one. Looking through the eyes of Martin Luther King. How would he see your problem? What learnings would he give you? What resources would he give you? What advice would he give that you in relation to this issue? Really fully and completely consider those mindsets he would give you now, those learnings, those belief systems maybe, and just fully consider them. That's all, just consider. And then imagine looking through the eyes of someone like Gandhi. Look through his eyes. What learnings, resources, abilities would he give you? Just fully consider having them. But imagine looking through the eyes of someone like Mother Teresa now. Having that clarity, looking through her eyes, the thoughts, the feelings, the knowledge and wisdom. What would she say to you in relation to this issue? What advice would she give you? And just fully consider that. And as you consider that, whether they exist or not, let's have some fun. Imagine looking through the eyes of someone from not this planet, like an alien. And as you think about what that would be like, looking through the eyes of an extraterrestrial, not from this planet, never even been here, what kind of thoughts and learnings would they give that you? What kind of learnings, resources, mindsets? Because we're not going to know, but we can imagine. Like a superhero, a Superman, a Batman, a Superwoman. And look through their eyes. What knowledge and wisdom would they give you? What feelings and resources would they give you? How would they help you? What abilities would they give you? What new perspectives? And just fully, completely consider all those in relation to this issue. Just consider. But imagine looking through the eyes of you with godlike powers, the ability to do anything that you wished, a mind completely free of limitations. As you look through your eyes as this godlike person, completely free in every way, willing and able to do anything you desire, what knowledge and wisdom would you give that you? As if you were even looking through the eyes of God. And if you don't believe, just imagine. What knowledge and wisdom would you give that you? And now just consider looking through the eyes of a child, a baby. What knowledge and wisdom would they give you? Someone so new and fresh in the world. Completely in the moment, in the now. Maybe there'll just be one learning. Maybe there'll be several. Just fully consider. And now with all those learnings, a collective amount of learnings, knowledge and wisdom, having gone beyond the boundaries of your present way of thinking, go back to you and fully consider how you see this problem you had. I'm gonna guess you see it a little bit differently. You have a new perspective. You have a new learning. You have a new way of seeing things, a new perception. And the more you begin to break outside of your own boundaries and fully and completely consider other learnings that you may not have thought about already right now, you, your unconscious mind, can continue integrating those learnings so that you have nothing less than the absolute abundance of resources, which truly integrates at that unconscious level of learning and growing beyond that old issue you had. And just keep on considering throughout the day new perspectives, because I know you're going to be able to change that level of thinking. As Einstein said, you have to come up to a higher awareness, a different level of thinking from the level of thinking that created the issue. And doing what we just did will continue to happen beneath the surface. So I hope you enjoyed that podcast. You can find, once again, information about me at josephclough.com. Now, my main thing here for you is just to really spread the word about these podcasts. Maybe write a review or rate it if you enjoy it. And that means more people get to listen to them, and that means I can invest more time and all my energy into doing more often, more completely, and really help you in the best way that I can. If you have any questions or maybe some subjects you'd like me to talk about, go ahead and email me at joseph@josephclough.com. That's joseph@josephclough.com, or just type in my name, Joseph Clough, onto Google or something, or come up to one of my websites front page and just go to a contact form. And I'll be more than happy to talk about that issue and how you can actually overcome issues in your life. So have a wonderful day, and I look forward to speaking to you very, very soon. Thank you, and bye-bye.